So for all those that have told you that you came into this world and you're not enough, you're not complete, you're not whole as you are, I want to kind of completely, totally diffuse that lie. If you observe all creation, the whole of it, the whole universe, but just observe for a second everything that you see and experience in nature, the wonderful flowers, the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom. If you look at the vast oceans and what are in it and underneath it and above it, the celestial world, everything in this vast creation lives in the enoughness. Now, when you observe humanity, we are the only creatures that are constantly looking outside of ourselves to validate ourselves, deeply, because we've lost our center. We've lost that sense of being enough. And when you lose that sense of enoughness, that sense of I'm enough as I am, you lose the sense of I'm complete. And when you lose the sense of I'm complete, you're going to look for something outside of yourself to complete you. And nothing can complete you. Nothing. Because you see, the moment you start looking on the outside, you reject and you abort the journey inside. And we are meant to be in complete union and fuse all of our internal components to have a deep communion with the all. And so this will never happen when we reject the sense of being enough. And so what I'm saying is, your enoughness, this sense of being enoughness, should be the foundation to everything that you are, everything that you do. You're a being. You're not a human doing, or you're not a machine. You are a collective masterpiece. That's what you are, called and created. And you're being sustained right now for the purpose of experiencing life through the all. And experiencing life with a sense of I'm not enough is seriously damaging. All you will do is chase validation, and you will look for it in everything and anything. So let's just put a stop to that now. And I hope when you listen to this flow, this word flow, this poetry, this spoken word, that somehow some of those lies, some of those emotions that you feel, some of those thoughts that have been uttered over your life, and some of these thoughts that you hear internally would begin to dissolve. So to all those that have spoken and said that you are not enough as you are, complete or whole, this is entirely cowardly. It's outwardly flowery. Let me tell you that their words are just powdery. You were made as a whole, a perfectly perfected soul. So don't you allow others to make you bow, submit, or quit. That just ain't fit. Just as you are was always enough to be part of the whole. You weren't created to live in some small fishbowl like a mole chasing a hole. This is not how you were meant to grow. Religious or educational dogmas have vomited its fear, its guilt, its shame, and made you feel that you were always lame, pointing its finger and shunning its blame, and trying to coat you with some damaging shame, slowly removing that beautiful name and trying to weaken your internal flame. Let me expose their filthy game. Its purpose was to weaken you, to try and transform you into some lame deacon so that you don't see through the right beacon. They will always tell you that you're never enough, that you need more knowledge, that you have to go to some really expensive college and learn some ancient Greek in hope that you will turn into some freak. You don't need a book either, or a building, or a priest to try and tell you that you were created like some ugly beast, and that you need to feast on some broken toast so that they can boast and you can end up like some dumb Sunday roast. However, education should be a revelation, not just a mere station so that we can serve the economic nation, but rather an institution where we all learn to find solutions and deal with our internal confusions. Not a place where we learn how to race in a highly competitive space, where people get teased for their color, their face, and sometimes even get laced. This ain't funny, especially for kids that don't have a mummy. So I want you to feel this next flow so that wherever you are, wherever you go, you will undoubtedly know. You are entirely, wholly, completely enough. You've always had the right stuff. Don't let others tell you that you need to puff. You're beautifully, wonderfully handcrafted. How you look is your own special book. You don't need to change your face just because you live in an area or space that don't agree with your culture or your race. You're a unique combination, chemically, mentally, physically, splendidly. 1 in a billion times. Let me change that to 1 trillion. You're no mistake, a shamble, or some point in time that was a mere gamble. There's a reason for your coming. It weren't only plumbing. It's not just the greats, that pass through the gates. You too have a reason, a purpose. Now, stop stalling and hear your calling. Let's take a mere sec, a pause, a quick check. You can think, imagine, feel, know, understand, comprehend, determine, consider, calculate, measure, create, visualize, plan, all in a day, quicker than any cheap spray. You can communicate, explain, lecture, converse, immerse yourself, rehearse any creative verse. Not to mention your physical potential, your inherent talents, your gifts, your aspirations, the things that you only see, the things that make you you, the things that are deep inside, your expressions. These are all components, inner powers that only you possess. So you can see right now that you are more than what you think you are. Even within a 24-hour day, these are just some of the things that you can do. I told you you were wonderfully, beautifully made. You were always enough, bountifully unlimited, sufficiently adequate, completely uniquely whole, totally authentic, specifically, wonderfully, conclusively formed. No one like you. Now, you've been warned, so remain informed. You're getting the picture, so let's not allow any more lies to cripple you like some weak flies. Walk in this honesty. It's not a possibility. You're definitely not a wannabe. As you can see, you're a special invention. I've already mentioned, so don't you start to lower yourself down and begin to love who you are. Not from afar. I'm not talking about an emotion that, comes from a pope that is giving you some little distant hope. That certainly ain't dope. But you have come from an explosion, a blast, a raw force, more like a powerful galloping horse that comes from a knowing, intelligent perspective that's totally majestic and completely rested. An insight so bright, so clear, all you have to do is hear. It's not a matter of being clever, qualified, or smart. So you can just start to open your heart and deeply respect. And I'm telling you now, it will take effect. So you're starting to hear the fact that you ain't cracked. I know you've been attacked. This poison and pain has led to some deep-rooted shame. Your moments of empty, lacking, void, desolate, devoid, vacant, and hollow. I know it's been desperately hard to swallow. Instead, you're starting to feel the word of truth remove those shackles that were vomited in your youth. Time to rise above the clouds and say goodbye to the sound of the many crowds. You're perfectly, wonderfully, and fearfully made. Enough as you are. Don't let this truth be afar. You're totally accepted for who you are, approved, endorsed, universally cherished, already perfected, no need to be infected. It's not a question of trying or buying or even applying. You know that I'm not lying. On closing, you are an extension of this cosmic intelligence that has designed you and inspired you with a design that's entirely created to make you shine. You were never called to any crime. Its beauty is yours, and it has no flaws. It's like no other. It knows no fear, no malice, no venom, no hatred. And that's the truth, because it's purely sacred. So, in closing, if you can allow yourself to be the extension that you really are, there's nothing more that you need to be, because you are the extension of all that is living, of all that is bright, of all that is life-giving, of all that is love. You are an extension. No need to try, no need to strive, no need to cry, no need to work, no need to push. You are that extension. All of the goodness that you see in and around creation, the universe, you are an extension of that force. And that, my friends, is enough.